When most people buy a house, they do a little remodeling, they change things up to suit them. Well, I'm doing something totally different, but not different. I am going room by room, changing things and doing things the way I want them done, the way that makes my life comfortable to live. But I don't care about selling it in the future. I don't care what the next people who may buy the home like or don't like. Everything I am doing in my home is to suit this dude right here and my dogs. And that's it. Because most likely this will be the last place I ever live. They'll probably scrape my carcass off the recliner one day. I hope not, but I mean that's probably what's going to happen. But a lot of people that are buying homes, they do these things, and a lot of cities, towns have codes. We don't have that here, so I'm pretty much free to do anything I like. I think the only thing I would ever have to get inspected here would be a septic tank, and mine's good. It was already here when I got it. Now, if you're just new to my channel, I purchased my home 11 years ago. It was an abandoned A-frame house. And it was full of the last people's stuff, full of trash all over the property. I've been working my butt off here for 11 years, trying to get this place the way I want it. I've cleared land, I've done things out on the property, that give me comfort, that give me enjoyment. And I'm not worried about putting in granite countertops because that's what people look for when they buy a home. I put in what I want to put in. I put in what I can afford. And to me, that's the best way to live. The problem now is, this is what's become a problem. Maybe a few years back, when I started doing things, I wanted to do them for a resale value, for resale purposes. But I couldn't sell the place now and find something as good for what I would get, because real estate companies have driven up property prices around here so high, it's not even funny. What you could get for $50,000 5 years ago, 10 years ago, would cost you $150,000 now. And I think all the people moving out of some of these blue states that are flooding to Texas, Arkansas, well, they're not helping. So I am just going to stay here. I mean, I've lived I've lived all over the country. I've seen places, and the place is paid off. So I'm going room by room. When I first renovated the house, and it's never been finished, I did things according to what I could afford. And now I'm going room by room, doing things the real way I want them. And I'm in no rush to do it. I'm taking my time. I've been working on that living room, one wall, for 2 weeks now. But it's coming together. And sometimes that's how you have to do it. And I think the way things are changing today, to where the house that you're going to purchase, you better think good and hard, because you may be stuck there, or you're going to end up losing money, because nothing is going down in price. Property, the rule is pretty much, if things go up, they're not coming down, and if they do, it isn't going to be much. So I'm going to hang on to it, but I am not worried about, well, I better fix it this way, because if I have to sell the house, I don't care about that. I don't plan on selling the house, and when I croak, nobody's getting it. Okay, I'm going to leave it to a animal rescue, probably, to auction off and donate the money, because probably nobody in my family is going to want it. So that's what I'm going to do with it. I don't really. A lot of people are. If you have a family, I can understand that, but it's just me. I'm not concerned with what happens with my belongings after I'm gone. So in the meantime, and I feel as healthy as I've ever felt right now. Actually, probably the best I've felt my entire adult life. And I probably have a good 20, 30 more years left. And so in them 30 years, as long as I am physically able to do the work, I'm going to do every room custom for me. I'm going to be the only one here. So why not? And, some of the things I've done people like. Really, there's not much I haven't done in the house that a resale, that would hurt resale value. One thing I did that a lot of people, people are clones of one another. Everybody's got the same things in their homes. Well, mine I didn't have anything when once I bought it, I gutted it, tore all the walls out and started over. But I bought a full range oven, the stove with the 4 burners on top. I got rid of that. I built a countertop where that was instead, and I just got a 2-burner induction cooktop. I got the hood above it. That's all you need. I don't, with the things I eat, carnivore lifestyle, I mostly cook out on the grill, but I can cook my eggs and things like that, bacon, on the stove, on the cooktop. And that's all I need. And when I don't need it, I can unplug it, pick it up and put it away, and I've got an entire butcher block countertop that I can work with, and I don't have some big oven taking up a bunch of space. So that would be one thing most people would, if they were to look at my house, say, well, it doesn't have an oven and there's no space for one. Yep, things like that. But I think it's going to start changing where people are going to start thinking more like that, because just buying property today, and here's a problem here. There was a property that came up on Facebook Marketplace a couple weeks ago for 15 grand. And I messaged them right away. It needed work, but it was 3.5 acres. And I messaged the person, well, they don't never get back to you. And by the time she did, somebody had already bought it. But I'm not really looking. But if I see a deal like that where I can turn around and sell it and make more money off of it, which I would have been able to, I'm going to do it. But I'm just content to stay here for the rest of my life. But I am going to customize my house to fit my needs. And if I don't want to use a certain room, I'm not going to use it. It'll be storage. I'm not going to worry about the next buyer. Now, as we know, things in life always change. And if I had to sell it, I'm still going to make a very good profit on the house, because I only paid $10,500 for the place, for the whole place. So I'm already in the black. So I'm not worried about that. But next time, if you are looking for property, you probably need to think in the lines of, if this is the last property I'm going to purchase, there's a lot to think about. Is there room for a bunch of people to move in and be surrounding me? Okay, that's something I really am never going to see, because, well, I got 1 million acres back here of national forest and mountains. Nobody's building back here. That is national forest land. And there's only a few places around here you could build. So that's something you need to look at. You don't want to move somewhere where there's a house that has a pasture next door and the guy dies and the kids inherit the 100 acres or whatever that is surrounding you and splits it up in the lots. That is something they are really doing everywhere now, because the kids don't want anything to do with it. So they're cutting it up in the lots and selling it. Next thing you know, you got 100 people living around you and you're stuck there. So you really need to investigate where you're looking. What could possibly be the future of that place. And just, build the house, fix the house up the way you want it. That's the best way to be. And, but it helps to not have building codes. We don't have any of that here. You need to check into that anywhere you're looking to move. Make sure that what the building codes are, or do they have any. There are several places in this country that they don't have them. Usually rural areas, you're always going to have codes and inspections in towns and cities. I guess that's about all I got. But, you know, customize your own house. Don't worry about resale. Here's the thing, if you do something different like I did in the kitchen, I can always get a saw and cut a hole and put a spot for a range. Most houses, you bring your own appliances anyway. So that's not a big deal. If you do something that is totally off, different, you know, totally off from what the normal is, just don't make it to the point where you can't change it later. That's probably the best advice I could give. But I guess for the next 20 years, I'll be sitting right here making movies. Happy trails.